Oh, you sound like a mouth breather.
All right, we're live, guys. All right, everybody out there in internet land, we have a few guests here at Croft CNC / CNC for Newbies USA, out on the back patio, soaking up the Florida sun. So why don't we sound off who all we got here?
Where do you want to start from?
Let's start from the right.
I'm Jim with Sky1 CNC.
Billy from B&R Spindles. And I'm Mike from Sky1 CNC.
And I'm Chris from CNC for Newbies. So we're going to do a round table. Every once in a while, you'll see me get up. I'm going to go check for comments and questions.
Because we got no crotch camera.
Yes, we have no crotch camera right now. There's no newfangled twist turn pulls. We are on a tripod. However, what's that?
Carry on.
However, we are gonna showcase a few new products. We're going to talk to some industry leaders for tooling, spindles, and then I'm just gonna be here kind of in the side because, you know, Jim and Billy are gonna carry the show.
Hey, thanks, Jim.
I'm okay with that.
I'll make you talk.
Way to go, producer.
No, so like I said, we're all kind of, we have our own segments of the industry that we work in and work for, but we all kind of talk and work together. You know, and we're trying really hard to progress the CNC industry in our own rights. And when we do that, we come up with some really cool ideas. Billy has probably had the biggest impact on, say, the CNC for Newbies accessories with the VFD kit. You know, what are some things that are coming in the future that you're going to try and progress?
Some more upgrades to the CNC for Newbies machines. Some others.
Talk loud.
The ATC spindle is coming soon. As soon as Chris finishes it.
It's on me, huh? Okay. What's the box over there that you brought?
That is the touch plate.
Who is this for?
Get closer to the camera so people can see it.
No,
it looks really tiny.
It does, but yeah.
The camera does not add 5 inches.
Damn it.
That's what she said. So, nine-dangled touch plate.
With a beautiful logo on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Let's hang that out there for
Custom
people to see.
engraved logo.
Oh, we already got some comments, and I'll have to go through there. But this is the new touch plate, so explain some parts of it. Guys, let us know if you can hear us and what's going on.
So this particular touch plate was specifically designed with UC CNC in mind.
Speak up. Sound off like you got a pair.
So all the offsets are identical, half inch, so you don't have to keep, adjusting it in UC CNC.
I wouldn't say they're identical. They're within tolerance.
Within tolerance, yes.
And what is your tolerance that you're holding?
0.005.
0.005.
I've never heard that number before.
It's new. I just wrote it. The cabling has the magnetic end for the collet.
And you printed that magnetic end on your new Prusa
3D printer. Yeah.
Right on.
PET G. So it's stronger than the PLA.
I like it.
Harder. Looks better. The adapter. Everything you need.
Right. Nice. Now show them that packaging. You're trying some new things. This is prototype packaging.
Yeah, I had to up my game.
Okay.
I'm not it is. So nice little foam insert cut out. Two-tone color. Still working on that. Fancy little box.
And that's how it'll come shipped to them?
Yes.
So can you still keep the box and actually use it as a case and cover?
As a storage device?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the intended purpose.
Correct.
Okay. So there you go, guys. That's that touch plate. That's not going to be a big thing for the Gerbil guys necessarily, because they actually put the offsets into the touch program. But for the UC CNC guys, like the Gecko UC 100 combos, the CNC for newbies controllers that are out there, and the guys that are running Mach 3 on their given machines, Mach 4, stuff like that, that will be a huge help for programming in the probe screen.
Correct.
And that's kind of what you were leading into with it, right?
Correct.
So what brands are those specifically as far as machines go that run those different?
Avid runs their older Avids had a Gecko, which they all run Mach 3, Mach 4.
Right.
CNC for newbies has that option, and then everybody else, the homemade CNC people. But you can upgrade any machine to run UC Mach 4 quite easily.
Yeah.
And well worth it. If anybody's listening, should do it.
Well, I definitely think UC is a big one. I personally, I've used a lot of different programs, and I love UC. I think the interface is better. I think the work offsets, just the workflow, especially of the old default screen, is probably the best.
The digitizer.
Yeah, the digitizer is very good. I'm going to check questions here.
CNC, you can see the outline of where the bit is and where it's going and where it still needs to go and all that.
So do you guys know Mike Meslak? 3D modeling videos on YouTube.
Okay.
He's on here. He says, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Mike?
Good to hear from him.
We've got some Facebook users saying, "What's up? Nice." They want to see more koozies. So I'm rocking. So we may or may not be having adult libations.
No, Mountain Dew.
Well, I've been
Not lying, I'm not
Yeah.
lying.
It's Mountain Dew,
So
okay.
I'm rocking the Sky One CNC or S1R CNC koozie. And then
They have SR1 CNC koozies.
Yeah.
but he's rocking the
Billy
leather
made
one.
these for us.
And
It was a
are
surprise.
both of them leather?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
So we've got that going on.
They may have a saying on the back that I'll blank out.
So, okay.
America.
Let's see. Bull is on here. Bull Shanigan,
Of
Well,
course
should
he
be in the
is.
seat right here.
right?
Why isn't he here?
Because it's 13-hour ride.
Because
How far is it from Green Bay?
Yeah.
he stubbed his big toe and his ovaries hurt.
Well, they hurt. Take
All
some
right.
Midol, get over it.
So we're still waiting on some technical questions to come in. You guys have the open ears of VFD and Spindle, and we have some big guys here. So first off, what's up, guys? This is the first big live you guys are
We
doing,
are
right?
deflowered as of right now.
You are.
First
Yeah.
time.
Never done anything live.
I like it.
Deflowered, I like it.
It happens.
So you guys do a lot with bits and everything, but one of the big things you guys are known for is your packaging.
Oh.
And there's a certain something with the packages that you're known for.
Who doesn't like Tootsie Rolls?
So
Made
Gotta
in
get your
America.
Tootsies.
Piper said, "What's up?"
nice. So what made you guys want to send Tootsie Rolls with your bits?
People love candy. Everyone's got a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
People love candy. And actually, we kind of stole the idea
There's a lot of
modify
people
it,
that do it, yeah.
but there was a
Smart.
previous life worked in the metal fab industry, and there's a company in Green Bay that delivered fasteners to us, and you always got a bag of peanuts or a box of Junior Mints or something, and we couldn't wait to get what came in that package because you knew you were getting a snack. You weren't quite sure what it was, and they changed it because people have peanut allergies, but now we got the Junior.
Well, Sky One starts selling tapered ball notes.
I know we've been
We've
asking
never
about-
heard that before, ever.
We get taper ball nose a lot. Our manufacturer's working on it. We hope to have something, but
So, yeah.
I'd like to have something within a month to say now we finally got it.
Yep.
Right.
We always got some irons in the fire, and
What?
we had to put a few fires out to get going forward.
What's what are two of the newest fires that you guys just extinguished and are ready to introduce?
Well, it's more packaging, but it's Mike, if you want to.
Oh, we got some new,
They can't see it behind that big one.
I'm working on it. Some new packaging for our starter sets. We got our AP set that is our #1 seller. We sell daily. We sell tons of them. Our primary customer are beginners, and they love to get a handful of bits that can take care of most of the products. So we put this set together that contain 8 of the most popular bits used for your flags and your, signs that people do. So we put that set together. This one recently, that includes a collet for the people using the Makitas and the DeWalts, and then also a surfacing bit for your spoil boards when you first assemble your machines. It all comes in a handy, nice little aluminum case with cutouts for each bit. So we're going to be releasing that. It's not on the website yet. As soon as we get home, we're on vacation, by the way, down here in
Working
sunny
vacation.
Florida. When we get home, we're going to put that online, and that'll be available soon. And then maybe Jim can explain the other one. Same thing, basically, with a little added bonus.
Well, again, this is an upgrade to the AP starter set. This one comes with the collet starter surfacing bit, but then there'll be a training kit included as well. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but
The ultimate set or whatever. Maybe you guys can name it.
Yeah.
I feel like doing everything set something. We'll give it a name.
So
We don't like naming stuff, though.
Make it a contest.
it actually comes with a really nice dial indicator, everything like that. I really like this. The packaging is nice aluminum case and everything like that. So
All from the USA. The tooling foam was
Right in
bought
Green
and
Bay.
cut right in Green Bay.
Yep.
Dial indicator's got our private label on it and a 3D printed tramming arm
okay,
with our logo in it, of course, because we got to have our logo anywhere we
And
can
our
get
blue
it.
color.
right on.
And it's all in our standard blue color.
I like it. All right, guys, we got some questions coming in here. Okay, we're gonna start. You already said you're going with the tapered ball nose end mill. Okay,
Soon.
what size?
Trying to have two of them.
Okay, what size tips are you guys going to offer and why?
Well, that's a great question.
Yes.
We want to know from you guys, what are you looking for? Typically, when people buy our straight ball noses for their 3D projects, they're using a 16th inch for the fine stuff and maybe rough it over the quarter, which is huge. You're going to move some material fast, but we're open to it. It doesn't matter.
My personal opinion on this, and I don't know, you guys may have a different workflow. You guys have a secret little bit that only one person at this table has right now.
And I've been hoarding them too.
And I was supposed to have one to try it out.
I forgot it.
Oh, okay.
Nice job, Billy.
I didn't forget it.
What is it?
Instead of getting it.
What is it?
It's a half-inch bit.
It's a half-inch what?
Half-inch end mill.
Half-inch end mill 2 flute.
No, 4, isn't it? 4. No, it's 4.
It's a 4 flute.
I believe it's 4.
Okay.
It eats a lot of
It-
material.
It eats
It
material.
is the best bit I've ever owned, and it will move a lot of material
Fast.
really, really fast.
And now you're running it in your spindle, obviously.
Correct.
What speeds and why?
Because I can.
Well, yes, because I can. At 450 inches a minute, at 20,000 RPMs, at a half-inch depth of cut, I do not recommend that you do that.
Okay.
But it will do it.
Billy is our
Torture test.
test mule, torture test, crazy madman.
Right on.
I bought 4 of them because I know that I was going to break one. And I have yet to break one. I've had a 5/4 piece of cherry come completely undone from the table, and the bitch spun it around a couple times and still cut. Didn't
Move your
break it.
fingers.
Didn't break it. So, I don't know.
When Billy first ordered our bits, he contacted us and said, I want a number of your bits. And he said, I'm going to torture the shit out of these things. And we were like, yeah, go ahead, because we've heard that before.
Right.
But then he sends us the videos of what he's doing. And he says, I'm going to show other people these videos. And we're like, jeez, who is this guy?
We
What's he doing?
don't recommend running bits at 450 inches a minute or
1,000.
250 inches a minute.
He sends us these videos, and he's broken our bits.
Yes, I have broken a few.
It happens, but
Not because of the bits.
right, what he's
because-
doing with
So-
it is insane.
Well,
It's not natural.
right. So that's kind of your workflow, though, is remove it fast, get it cut down, then clean it up.
Right.
Right. And I'm of the same mindset. So I like, because I don't have the 1/2-inch bit, guys. You
We
know.
could have brought one if you had.
Yeah.
No. But my
It's a
workflow is
beast.
typically a 1/4 inch, either 2 flute, 3 flute, or 4
Yep.
flute, and I run it at a fast speed and a fast feed, and then I go back with like an 1/8 or a 16th ball nose,
Okay, yeah.
and then from there I use like a 1/2 millimeter radius taper ball nose for fine detail.
Okay.
And you guys have all seen the videos of my moldings that I have and that I do. But one of the things with that is it takes a long time on the machine because I'm using such a small radius.
Right.
What you guys being the big guys, what workflow do you recommend as a jumping off point?
Well, I don't do a lot of 3D myself. I it's just not something that sells in my area.
Okay.
So, but what I do see a lot of guys using a 16th inch, which is pretty small, but I mean, it's not tiny. We have a 32nd inch ball nose that talk about tiny.
If you want some really fine detail,
Right.
the 32nd
But I don't know
inch will.
If the 3D guys, would you want something that small and a
Can I-
tapered?
Can I get that in the 3-inch Shank?
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for us because the C4N machines have a lot of Z travel.
Yep.
And we can do a deep carve.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit different need than say some of the other introductory machines.
What I see most guys doing is just a 2-bit. They rough it with say a 1/4 or whatever. Some guys, if it's not real detailed, they'll use an 1/8 inch ball for the finish.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just use a straight taper from the jump.
There's guys that do that as well. Yep, I've seen that.
So
Your taper ball nose will be.
Maybe we need to
Stronger
do 3
than-
of them.
do you guys have plans to offer your bits in a longer shank since more and more companies are getting a bigger machine with a higher powered spindle and more Z clearance?
If the need is there, yes.
Okay.
The bits that we get developed from our manufacturer are typically based on if we're getting a lot of requests. And
Right.
We've had a lot of requests for the taper ball nose. That's at the top of our list right now. And
I'll say something about that. We don't sell anything we don't stock.
Right.
We don't take your money and then develop a bit and sell it. We have them in stock. So with that in mind, we need to sell them. We don't want to sit on them either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if there's a great need for a longer bit that we're going to sell regularly, hell yeah, we'll stock it.
I'll tell you right now, I think the guys that are running all of these different machines that are using the spindles, and Billy, nothing against you, but not necessarily the B&R spindles, but just spindles in general, can they utilize the longer bits?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys foresee, if there's a need with all these machines getting spindles, the need for the longer
sure.
bits in stock?
For sure, yeah.
See,
and that kind of
Our
seems the way
manufacturer, well,
we can do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the nice part about it.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
That's something that I think is lost on a lot of the people in these groups, is they think that it's just companies in here trying to sell their wares.
No.
And it's not. It's actually people listening to what the market needs.
That's right.
And what we want to push as far as guys that are on the cutting edge.
Yep.
You know, I get a lot like, oh, you push a certain brand of machine, and oh, you work for them, so that's why you push it. If you talk to me, I have guys that call me all the time, and I tell them, look, I don't sell machines because that's the company I work for. I sell machines that are going to work for you.
I can't tell you how many times I'll recommend a different manufacturer bit because we don't offer it. That
Right.
doesn't mean, we do that all the time, and we help people with feeds and speeds with other people's bits all the time too, because they won't do it. You can't get a hold of them or whatnot.
Right.
the
That's
big
just the way we are.
manufacturers, they've got industrial settings that you can go to their website and get, but it doesn't transfer very well to the guy working out of his garage or his basement on those type of machines.
Little 30-inch machine, yeah.
Right.
It doesn't transfer well. So our numbers, even though, and we tell everybody, they're conservative on purpose just to get you started. It's not written in stone. Once you get comfortable with the machine, you know what its capabilities are, you get comfortable with the bits, absolutely start turning it up. But if you haven't operated one of these machines before, I don't want you running it at 250 inches a minute at a half-inch depth of cut.
Right.
Bad things could happen. Let's get comfortable with it first. And I know everybody wants to run before they can walk, but I'd rather you walk before you run.
What about spindle settings and stuff like that with these bits?
Like, yeah, because you have a wider range.
That's the beauty of a spindle, yes.
Yeah.
You have a much different torque curve.
Yep.
Yes. So you're going to have the same amount of torque at 7,200 RPMs as you do at 24,000.
And it's going to hold that torque throughout the cut.
So it doesn't, The deeper you dig, the more power it gets.
Plus, your RPM range is a lot better, too.
Correct. And just because the bits aren't listed on their website, by the way, doesn't mean you can't send them a message and ask, because that's how I found that half-inch bit.
That's
right.
Michael actually says a longer cutting edge would be a great option.
Yeah, people always ask for the 16th inch and the 8th inch and a super long cut.
You can't do that.
Well, the big thing is they're asking for a down cut with a really long cut. You pack all that chip down inside the cut, and pretty soon your quarter-inch depth of cut becomes a half-inch depth of cut because you're running back through all the down cut, It's tough to do. We understand the want for longer cut bits, and, it's something we can work on.
I think a lot of that.
There's a point where you gotta draw the line.
Right, but I think a lot of that from a 3D carver standpoint, and that's Mike actually saying that, is his primary thing. He does full church restorations in
nice.
Ireland, Scotland,
Yep.
and he's doing window surrounds and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's not all. I'm just giving you stuff that I've seen that he's put out.
Right.
He's one of the ones that I definitely look at with the extended tooling.
Sure.
He needs stuff like that, but he also has clearance holes where the dust can go out, the chips can get cleared, and stuff.
Right.
He knows what he's doing.
Right. So
He has that level of experience and expertise
Right.
to know these things.
Right.
And that's where we get in a tough spot sometimes.
Here's Mike asks a tough question. Okay.
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay, have at it.
He wants to know, what are your opinions on this new down spiral V-bit that's seen?
We talked about it.
I'd like to try one.
Yeah, I understand why Cody developed it. We know Cody. We like Cody. We toyed with that idea maybe 6-8 months ago,
At least.
and discussions with our manufacturer said, yes, I can make you one. Because we did get a couple of requests. We just inquired about it. Is it possible? And our manufacturer, who's got decades of experience,
He shied away from it.
he said, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Okay, fair enough.
And with our manufacturing background and his knowledge of developing tooling, our manufacturer, we're like, I really don't know a lot of them. And
Oh, I think we saw a lot. I still think we saw a ton of them.
initially, I think you would.
Oh yeah.
But once the new tool
Right,
wore off,
right.
you know,
And you somebody who's like, oh yeah, I gotta have the downcut V-bit because
It's
the ore mask keeps peeling up every time and come with the standard V-bit. Yeah, we get that. And with that being said, okay, you get the downcut. Now you're gonna not have some really. You're not gonna have quality cuts.
what about the ability to clear the chips with air assist?
that would
If you've got
that'd
it,
be huge.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, well then
it will not.
I can see something like that. Yeah.
So like on my C4N machine, I have air assist,
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
and Billy has it installed too. You have two of them, one on each side of the bit and spindle.
Mm-hmm.
I only have one.
That's why I have two.
Just
Just
Oh,
so
if he
so-
gets two, you're gonna get three.
yeah.
that's why we clarify this. He had one, so I had to have
Yep.
two.
Yes,
I gotcha.
Okay.
we talked about the aluminum bed, and he went and did it because I was going to get one.
I get
And when
it.
he did it, I was just like, well, there's no need for me to really do it now.
I get it.
And then I said two things. I said, one, I'm gonna
boys.
I'm gonna buy a Tormach at some point. He
With
took
Billy
that
Ramone.
as I'm buying one this week. So he bought one that week. And I said, I'm gonna buy a Ferrari, and apparently he has a red Ferrari coming or something.
It's bright orange.
Okay, so
No, I mean, as far as that V-bit goes, I hope it works. That'd be awesome. I would like to try one.
okay.
Then our experience with with customers telling us, hey, I'm having problems with peel up on the ore mask, and
There's ways.
there's ways to put the ore mask down where that doesn't become a problem.
Okay.
Feeds and speeds too. It always comes down to feeds.
There's so many variables.
Yes.
Are you in a
750
humid
inches a
environment?
minute is not going to matter.
Right.
It's coming up. Just so
Okay.
you guys know.
Fair.
Environment has a lot to do with the ore mask.
That too, yeah.
Wood preparation.
What tip size? 20 to
That's a little personal.
02? Yeah, yeah.
Way personal.
Anteater, German helmet. What? No, stop it, guys. Oh, here we go. Chris, can you give us a sneak peek of the automatic tool changer? I can't give a sneak peek, but you guys got to see. You guys got to see some stuff of it.
That
What
is
are you?
by appointment only.
You know how much we paid for this vacation just to come see that damn changer? You can't just show it online. Jeez.
What? So you guys got to see the pneumatics and the thought that I put into the pneumatics for it.
I mean, if you can sell it at a great price point, everything comes down to price.
Right.
It's a game changer.
I
mean, that's awesome.
What do you think of the accessory pneumatics and the electronics? The thought that I put into that, being that you guys saw it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It blows my mind. That kind of stuff. I'm not an electronic guy. I stay away from it.
Me too.
But from what I see, the work that goes into that, the work that you did on that is mind blowing. In my mind.
Billy, being
I would like to have one.
you know what?
You gotta work on that. I know a guy.
I
know a guy.
Billy from being our spindle.
I have a 12-tool carousel automatic tool changer. Sorry, guys.
It just happens to be on a Tormach right now. He'll mount it to the side of the C4N. Billy, being the Spindle VFD guy that I use, and I consulted you about the spindle I was using and everything. What are your thoughts on what I came up with? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the F I make if it's not cost effective and it doesn't work.
Right.
So I'm interested because we didn't really talk about it before this. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
It's exciting, if you ask me.
It is. It's going to be.
As far as machines go, it's one of those things that, like, we get asked for taper ball nose all the time. For a machine manufacturer, they get asked for tool changers all the time, you know?
When's it coming out?
Yep,
When's it going to be?
exactly.
But the process in converting a machine that was never designed
Right.
for an ATC to make it work with an ATC is not as easy as I'm going to put an ATC on this today.
Mm-hmm.
What about the coding you guys saw?
The correct way.
The coding.
There is other ways to achieve an ATC, but the correct way is not as easy as just.
I'll tell you, I put a lot of thought and effort into facilitating. Oh, excuse me. I put a lot of thought and effort into facilitating the thought process of this, you know, and actually thinking through, okay, this is what I wanted to do. This is how I'm going to accomplish it. So,
well, the fact that the spindle is an actual ATC spindle and not a half converted one is going to be tremendous.
Yeah.
Because every time people forget, and I know they forget, but every time you attach something else to the bottom of that spindle,
Right.
your run out is multiplied by not a little bit, by a lot.
right.
That's right, yeah.
Every time you add something. So, you got a 2-inch bit versus a 4-inch bit, call it, and then call it nut. All that goes,
a reducer and
that goes into that run out.
Yep.
Do you think that I made the right choice with the spindle, or would you have liked to seen something else? Because I used an 80 millimeter round spindle to try and keep with
The mounts
and everything that has kind of already been there.
Yeah.
People have them already.
Yeah, it's more cost effective for everybody. Yep. But yes, I would have went with the same spindle.
Yep.
Okay, that's good to know. The biggest bitch that I have about developing this thing and trying to understand it and looking at all the pros and cons was, the cost of the spindles.
Yeah.
That hurt a lot.
But
where are you gonna get them spindles, by the way?
There's a manufacturer.
So, well, that's going to be enough of that one. I think we've covered that quite well. Oh,
Baja. I haven't had this one yet.
Baja. So this is Skies. Will you guys be looking at insert tooling anytime in the future?
Yes, that is a great question.
I'm going to say probably not.
I agree.
And I'll tell you why. Because we're mostly in the hobbyist market. Even the tool changer stuff is kind of a little above us. Not above us, but it's
out of your realm.
Yeah. I mean, like we said before, we're for the hobbyist, the beginner.
What machines do you guys have?
I have a Shapeoko. I've had it's an old one too. It's not even one of the newer ones. Old belt drive V-wheel machine that, man, it does what I asked it to do. It always has.
Okay. For the projects that we do, you make flags. You can do 3D on it.
Sure. You got to know its limits. A lot of people piss and moan about a belt drive.
You engrave all your inches with it, right?
Yeah. The aluminum engraving. You just have to know its limits. You have to do what it asks for. I mean,
most of the hobbyists, they want to make signs, and some of them don't know what they want to make.
They want to
generate
learn.
a little bit of money on the side on the weekends.
I get a lot of questions on what machine should I get,
right?
And they're like, should I get a 4x8 machine?
No.
If you're a hobbyist, no.
And I'm
Absolutely.
No
You
way.
you started off with the 4x8 machine. It's only going to get more expensive, and you have that overhead to try and recoup.
Right.
I mean, I went from an X-Carve to a 4x8.
Yeah, but you had an intention with
Right.
it.
Yeah. No, I currently utilize the back 4 foot by 4 foot to hold my fiber lasers and VFD parts.
And my
A lot of that comes down to, once again, the hobbyist having the garage space,
right.
and not having a warehouse space that they see a lot of guys.
Exactly.
You guys all watched my lives and stuff when I had my manufacturing facility. I don't know, Billy, you didn't come down for the manufacturing. You came down for the home shop.
Correct.
Yeah, but what do you foresee? Like, when I was in my manufacturing facilities, everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome," and I kind of felt like it gave me a different view to people. People viewed me differently because I had a huge shop and I had all the machines running, and I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. But I had overhead every day. I had to make X amount of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's the thing, and that's the thing with the insert tooling. Yeah, it is cheaper to buy an insert when a bit goes dull.
But then they insert it wrong at the wrong angle or it's loose.
Especially with a machine that's using a router.
Correct. Like the Tormach actually came with a special tool holding device just for inserting carbide tips into the tooling.
Right.
It's not something that you're just going to throw on your workbench and be like, I'm going to put these in here today.
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with insert tooling.
Right.
I mean, for manufacturing, yeah, absolutely. But for our market, for our customer, I don't think it's for us.
At least not anytime soon.
Right.
5 years from now, might be a different story, but
Right. Let's see here. Michael actually agrees making it an upcut. He says, "Thank you for the honest answers."
That's one thing, man. We're always going to be honest with the customer.
They may not like the answer, but it's going to be an honest answer.
Right. That out of the panel here, like you said, you'll get an honest answer. You may not like it,
right?
Or it may
I
hurt your feelings.
I might not like it either because I'm going to send you to a different company, but it's the right answer,
right?
And
I've long since said, I come at this from a CNC hobbyist / light industrial manufacturer, that I want to see people make money, and it's self-serving. I told him whenever he bought his machine right up front, and he talked to me, my goal is to get you to make money, and make money fast and a lot of it, so that I can sell you another machine.
Jim always says when our customers are successful, we're successful.
Right.
And the highest, if they enjoy what they're doing, they're going to keep doing it. No one goes, I love doing this, I'm going to stop. They're going to maybe broaden their horizons.
How do you guys
themselves?
How do you guys deal with the difficult positions that we are put in as companies that sell stuff and that encounter people utilizing products that they don't necessarily know? I'm trying to be nice about it, but basically I'm saying, how do you deal with the customer that just doesn't know what the F they're doing?
Educate them.
We try to educate the best we can. Some of the subjects are touchy.
Yep.
I used to have a full head of hair.
Good point.
It happens.
Yeah, we do. When I see somebody doing something, I used to do it a lot more. When I used to see on the forums somebody doing something that wasn't right, I would say something.
You got to choose your words carefully.
And I'm trying to choose my words carefully now.
Some people do. I'll tell you right now, I try to be diplomatic as much as possible, but
Me not so much.
a lot of people know that, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Right.
I
know.
If you have children watching, get them off here. But I tell people, like, look, you fucked up, eat it.
For sure, yeah.
Or you didn't do it right. What are you doing? Stop right now.
Let's go back to step one.
Let's go back. Or it's like I go into panic mode. It really depends on what day of the week it is and how much stress I'm under and everything like that. As to, oh my God, I have a customer that did this. What am I going to do? You know, and I really, Billy knows, there are times I've bent over backwards that I probably should not have. And it cost me a lot of money myself.
Yeah.
Not the company, but myself.
We do that too, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. But in the long run, the education process that you can walk them through.
I've showed up to a few people's houses before.
Right.
Yeah, you guys are well known for that. Yeah, show up at a house and show them how to do it. That's amazing.
That's one of the things I love doing that, but it made me so happy. The first time that it happened was Michigan.
Yes.
And Billy called me and is like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, "Okay, good, because I'm on my way to Pennsylvania." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm getting a visitor." He's like, "No, I'm going to pick you up and we're going to go to Michigan." And I'm like, "Why are we going to Michigan?" He's like, "Because I got a customer that needs some help and you know it. Let's get you up there. I'll get up there. We'll figure it out for him and he's going to make some money." And I was like, that right there is the coolest.
He wasn't even really a customer.
Right.
It wasn't even my spindle.
Right. It wasn't his spindle. And at the time, it wasn't my machine.
Right.
But you know what? The next spindle he buys is going to be yours.
Correct.
Because you guys did that.
You know, but then he drove all the way to Long Island to help put a machine together and teach you.
Not that long after Michigan.
Yeah.
Virginia, Long Island, Michigan, Virginia.
Yep.
I sold a guy a spindle. He was having problems with it, the RPMs, and I was just like, you know what? It'd probably just be as easy to drive down there today.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
And
people appreciate that.
Yeah, and I have guys here. I've got 6 guys right in the local Miami area, and that sounds like, oh, just right there in the Miami area. You guys got to drive that.
I don't recommend it.
Everything is like 5 miles away from my house.
It's not ideal.
But it's an hour away.
Yeah, and it takes me an hour to
get snow. We probably would have got through it better with snow.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'd have got here a lot quicker.
Nobody would have been on the road.
That's perfect. We know how to drive in the snow.
So, but I've got guys right around me that, you know, I go over to their house, I help them, I talk to them, like, hey, this is how I did it, or this is how I made this part.
We got a handful of locals too. That's pretty cool. They come and they face to face with us and buy the product instead of us shipping it off to somewhere. It's cool to see the faces.
5 miles. They stop by afterward. Hey, you guys got one of these?
Yep.
And yes, we do.
Last week while Jim was off, a guy dropped the 60 degree and busted the tip off, and he needed it he was hot on a job. And I said, "Come on over, I'll give you one."
Right on.
No, I'll buy it. I dropped it. I said, "Don't worry about it."
I've called and had bits overnighted before.
You're a good customer of ours, you know.
Yeah, they were overnighted whenever he was headed to another shop. Garage.
Yeah. Those are 1/2-inch bits, weren't they?
The aluminum ones.
Oh, that's right.
The 1/2-inch were supposed to be shipped here, and he decided to have them sent home. We're going to keep harping on that.
Yep.
Let's see. Somebody says, what all are y'all drinking? Well,
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dew. We got
watermelon flavored Mountain Dew, I guess.
5% by volume.
And on that note, I'm going to grab another. And then on top of that, we're drinking Hungry Run Distillery pear flavored vodka.
Not we.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay. Where can guys, if you're on Facebook talking to the round table, do me a favor and click the link up. That way we can see who you are. Somebody wants to know where they can get that fancy SR1 koozie. I don't know where they're getting the SR1 koozies at.
Those only go to our best customers.
So we've got the S1R koozies. And
Hey,
what's that?
I'm not Facebook user.
Oh, is that you? You're a dick.
How much do we owe you for that one?
Yeah.
The question above that.
Do you guys offer metric?
No. You don't.
And why not?
Because this is America. Sorry, I had to.
Again,
Because we'll avoid metric measurements at all costs. If it's 3 newspapers wide, that's what we're going to use instead of millimeters.
no, I don't know.
Seriously.
Is there a need for it?
Probably with our
It's getting there.
It is.
It's getting
our
there. Yeah.
international customers probably are going to want it unless they buy everything in a standard size from us. They probably, I would imagine, use millimeters.
And it is
a whole lot more than
even
what-
here. It is turning to the metric system, which I am
I see more and more
totally
guys.
against. by
40
the
years
way.
ago, they said it was going to go to the metric, and we have yet to do it.
True.
It's not happening soon, so
I think I'm up to 278 spindle kits in the last year and a half, and I have sold 2 of them
Metric.
with metric
Collets.
collets.
Okay.
Do you use metric bits, Chris?
So here's the thing, I don't. And the reason why I don't is because I have such a plethora of
Right.
end mills and tapered ball nose and surfacers that I can get the resolution that I need. And anybody can do metric or inch as long as they design the file for it. And they post-process with the right post-processor and so on and so forth. And it's kind of funny because I was just asked to create a metric post-processor for Vetric for the CNC for Newbies machines. Because last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. I did a live where I actually posted all of my post-processors I use and recommend. And then I showed how I edit them and everything. So that was something kind of cool, but I honestly don't have a lot of call for metric
Right.
unless I'm dealing with our foreign counterparts.
Jim, when you worked at the last job, did you get a lot of prints and stuff that were in metric or no?
no.
And that was
Occasionally, yes, we'd have to.
we worked at a water jet company.
Occasionally, we would have to buy
Hey,
metric sheets of
Yeah.
aluminum or metric sheets of steel or stainless.
But even the
It was few and
cutouts,
far between.
yeah, you didn't get the print in a metric form.
But if you got the print in a metric form and your SE
Converted it.
sizes were within tolerance, you could use the American stuff
Yeah.
because of the tolerance was
Right.
wide enough. Now that was rare, but occasionally you came across it. Which
here's
Going
one of the
back to
cool
our-
things. I want to make a water jet, and
no, you don't.
my cousin.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you don't.
my cousin actually developed the pump system for that.
Those
Oh, yeah.
machines eat themselves alive.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
And you need a warehouse full of spare parts if
Yep.
you want to keep it
and
running.
they're
But-
messy.
But
All that garden.
Yep.
yeah, but
Wow.
still, I mean,
They're cool. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely cool.
And what do you do with the sand afterwards?
Yep.
He lives in Miami.
yeah. I was gonna say I'll take it to the beach.
Hey,
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
out there
You're
right
gonna do-
there.
Yeah. This is a good
There-
place. That,
One
yeah.
pocket full at a time.
Yeah.
We
I'll
worked
Shawshank
in a
that
water
shit.
jet. We worked for a water jet manufacturer for a while, and they had some things figured out really well that a lot of people didn't. And we had storage units on the property next to where we worked, and they owned 8 of them, and all of them were filled with spare water jet parts
Yeah.
because these
They
things
do.
literally self-destruct.
Yep.
And you can't wait 3 weeks to get a part from
Right.
wherever.
Not at that level.
That leads me into my question. One by one, if you could have a machine, your dream machine, what would it be?
Wow.
5-axis, Swiss tooling.
Oh, we're gonna go that far?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 5 axis.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Dream machine so I can cut anything. I want to be able to cut granite. I want to be able. I do. I want to cut limestone.
No.
We've cut limestone before.
What a cool machine to be is a maybe a 4 foot by 4 foot 5-axis affordable hobbyist level machine.
I can do that.
I would want one with a tremendous Z height so you can cut 12 inches of limestone.
I can do that.
You want to make
I was going to say, I can
want to
do
make
that.
your own tombstone. I want to make my own tombstone so I can write my stuff on it and not let the morons who are drunk after I die decide what to write on. I want to search.
You can cut them out. Cut them out of steel, put it on there, and you sandblaze it up.
Oh yeah.
Done. Did it for years.
So, what?
That's a tough one.
I'm going to opt out of that question.
Why?
Can I answer for that?
Because you know why. If I want it, I just go buy it. And it's like the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Right?
It's my whole philosophy.
So, what manufactured machine right now would it be?
Well, I mean,
Is it a dream machine or?
Yeah,
like,
it could be metal, it could be
big old
wood, it
Haas,
could be stone.
yeah, big old Haas.
Big Haas?
Yeah.
Okay.
5-axis. I have a background in the racing industry. So.
Okay. So you want a 5-axis like?
You would make race. You would make race.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So you went to Doosan with the DVF
Yep.
5-axis.
Yep.
Right now, if you buy that one as your dream machine, I heard from a little source that Kennametal will give you $10,000 in free tooling.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so, you know, $800,000.
That's a lot of money.
Would give you
If
$10,000.
money was no object,
Probably more
but
than that, yeah.
don't worry, we don't have enough money to do something silly like that.
Me neither. I
Yeah.
would've. Me neither. I would have.
Or
Yeah.
the space.
Right on. I like it.
There's only so much room in the basement.
I tell you.
Cabinet hardware is popular more for drilling. The metrics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Say that again.
The cabinet hardware is metric.
Oh,
So-
okay.
That's funny that's mentioned because I just had a client this past week that they used their C4N 4x8 machine for strictly cabinet making, and they use Mosaic software. They don't even import it into UCC&C. They're doing. I forget how he said he was doing it, but they had it set up as a drip feed from the program, I guess. And I forget exactly how he was saying it, but
You can
it sparked my interest.
You output it directly to the machine.
Yeah, but it sparked my interest, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool because I use Mosaic. I actually have Mosaic cabinet software, but I output it as a Mach 3 file, and then I upload it to UCC&C. So that's something I didn't think about. That they're mostly 5mm, and the European pocket holes and stuff like that are metric. I didn't think about that.
Drilling for all the hardware.
Yep. Let's check here. You guys are hearing my Dogo Argentinos. What do you think of those?
He's angry at us.
What do you think of
I don't
those
wanna be on the
animals?
wrong end of
Yeah,
them being
no,
angry.
I'm gonna stay away from them dogs.
All right.
This one's not as good, by the way.
I know.
So somebody was on there talking about you can use metric end mills and tapered ball nose to output an American file and vice versa, and they're absolutely right on that.
Say it again.
You can output a metric file, but use American size tooling.
We're getting in trouble.
Yeah,
What
we're
would you do?
they want food.
They want food.
They want food.
Uh,
They're like, what about dinner?
No.
You had one of those.
I know. I'm a lightweight.
My daughter
I'm
came
from
out and she's
Wisconsin.
looking.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I think it's about time to cut this off and go get some food.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Okay. Guys, closing comments.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm glad to get down here in sunny Florida to meet these guys finally. Had a good time.
Billy?
I'm sure I'll see you all later.
Any questions, you can get a hold of us on the website, PM us, Facebook,
What's your website?
www.sky1cnc.com
Or
Okay.
S1RCNC.com.
or S1RCNC.com.
And you guys all have my cell phone number.
Everybody watching?
I don't.
Everybody.
I don't have your cell phone.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
If I do, I lost it.
You can't lose it. It's right on the bottom of all my stickers.
There you go.
And
I
guys,
never read the bottom of the sticker. I see the BNR. I'm like, it's Billy.
Yeah.
And, there's the phone number.
That was I'm not going to say that was the worst choice I've ever made in my life, but it's out there now.
Can't take it back.
Can't take it back. Can't change my number. So
Can't take it with you.
Yeah.
basically he just sets his phone aside at night and uses his other cell phone.
if you don't leave a voicemail, though, there's a good chance that I probably won't call you back.
Always leave a voice.
I guess my closing comment would be, guys, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
I can't
Thank you.
wait. I want to see this grow into something, talking about the hobbyists that are around our local areas and everything. I want to see like some more round tables happening. I want to see guys getting together, and I want to push this hobby / home manufacturing to a whole new level. So to me, these round tables are invaluable. And thank you guys all for your time and making the trip to see me. And
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So with that being said, guys, I'm going to bid you adieu, and
Thanks.
we're going to cut this off.
Off to the beach, they say.
Yeah, and we're going to go. What are we going to have for dinner?
Steak.
Steak?
College co-eds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
college co-eds. We do have Miami U here. We have University of Miami here, so.
They've got places to eat on campus. We should go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm married.
All right,
Exactly.
I'm out of there, guys. Later.